Welcome to Not Financial Advice on Node AI, hashtag GPU. Node AI is a decentralized GPU rental website that allows artificial intelligence agencies to access nodes without having to buy them. A GPU is a graphic processing unit that does high functioning calculations. So artificial intelligence companies need GPUs, but don't necessarily have the money or the infrastructure to buy and operate them. And that's where Node AI comes into play. Node AI allows these companies to access the GPUs without owning them at a rental fee. On the Ethereum chain, there's over 35,000 holders of the token, and it's a revenue share token, meaning that when you stake your token on the website, you get paid in Ethereum, part of the proceeds or the revenues from the company. They've completed phase one and are now going into the phase two of their roadmap. And the company has a long runway because there's no central exchange listings currently, meaning that in order to purchase this token, you need to be on a decentralized platform like Uniswap and swap Ethereum to make a purchase of it, which gives you a competitive advantage, in my opinion, over people who are only purchasing their tokens on central exchanges. Node AI has a long runway and a large
So that was a little
amount of
overview
customer
on
base
what
that they can
GPU
continue to
is as a
consume,
unit,
and they're
I
in
want
revenue
to
of
talk
over
about why I'm so bullish on it and why I think it could have the potential to be a multi-billion-dollar asset in the next couple years. Artificial intelligence is the future of how computation is being done. And for artificial intelligence to exist, there needs to be GPUs. A lot of artificial intelligence startups don't have the money to invest in buying GPUs, but they can rent that GPU processing power from a company like Node AI. And because it's decentralized, they have the ability to rent to anybody all over the world because you're just allowing people access to nodes. And they also pay out those individuals that choose to stake their tokens, meaning their assets that they have on the Ethereum network. If you stake it on their website, you can now earn part of those profits. It's incredibly bullish because we don't know what their profit margins are going to be like as artificial intelligence scales. But we know that they're a scaling company, and we know that they're making revenues of over $500,000 a month. So if you are accessing that revenue share through staking your tokens, and mind you, the more tokens you have, the more revenue share you can participate in. That's the incentivization for you as an investor to accumulate as many assets or GPU tokens as you can to stake in exchange for the Ethereum that you'd be earning in revenue share without having to sell your assets. Of course, once the asset raises in value, you could always sell that as well. This is not financial advice, mind you. This is just my opinion on what GPU could be doing in the future as cryptocurrency scales. One of the reasons why companies are going towards being on their own blockchain rather than issuing stocks is because you can get a buy-sell tax, which is what the Node AI team has done. They don't hold any tokens themselves, which makes me more bullish because it means that they're not going to be dumping on the market once it hits a certain target. Rather, their incentivization is to increase the profit participation of their investors so that they can create more revenue on the buy-sell tax, because you're getting a 5% buy and 5% sell tax every time you transact the token, which is how the Node AI team stays in revenue. And I believe this is the future of how companies are going to participate in creating offerings, because the stock market is so fictitious because of synthetic stocks and naked shorts and all the other things that were exposed through the GameStop debacle. So in my opinion, a company like GPU, which is currently at a market cap of over $100 million, has the ability to go to hundreds of billions simply because they're doing something that no one else is doing, which is selling GPUs to companies that need it but can't afford to buy it themselves. So they rent the asset out. It's a really brilliant business model. They also can harvest GPUs from people that aren't using it and then middleman broker that to other people. So, there's no real shortage of what this company can be doing as it scales and develops into this space. It's really just kind of how far is artificial intelligence going to seep into our existence. And as far as it seeps, they're going to need rentals of GPUs or graphic processing units to make that a reality. Um, so everybody goes, oh, when's this going to hit this, or when's this asset going to hit that? And that's always like, well, if I had a crystal ball, I would be predicting all these things. And it's not really something you can predict without knowing what the market conditions are. Everybody wants to make $1 million off five, and that can happen. I invested in Andy, put like $20 in or something. It was an insignificant amount because the market cap was at like $500,000. It's now at like $275,000, and that $20 is like, I don't know, it's like $15,000, $20,000, and that is what this space offers. But it's hard to predict what the timelines of execution are going to be like because it's all market conditions. People buy what other people buy. So my advice is when something's red is when you should be buying it, not when you should be selling it. And when it's green is like if you were going to sell it then, that's when you should be selling it. So it's reconditioning your brain in cryptocurrency a lot to buy on red and sell on green because your brain is conditioned to buy on green and sell on red. So it's reconditioning your brain. But going back to Node AI, because I'm going off on a tangent here, it's at 35,000 holders, market cap of around $110 million. When you're talking about an asset and it's also, this asset's like 3 to 4 months old. We're talking about a launch of maybe February or March. We're in just the first week of June, and it's already hit an all-time high of $300 million. I mean, that's incredible for an asset that short on its runway of lifespan. And when we talk about how long other assets have existed or what they've done in these same market conditions, it's nowhere near that. The massive amount of utility that you're getting from this token is unparalleled, in my opinion, comparative to what other offerings are on the marketplace. A revenue share token that's also been burned. There was a big rug pull a couple months ago on the OCW project. And when that rug pull happened, the Node AI CEO came out publicly and burned $100,000 worth of the token as a gesture of solidarity and an optimistic offering for the public. And when you have that type of commitment from the investors, or rather, when you have that kind of commitment from the leadership, it gives a lot of strength and confidence to people like myself, investors, who are looking to long hold an asset to see what it's going to do, not in a couple weeks or in a couple days, but in a couple years. And that's my target hold for GPUs. I want to see what this asset's going to do in the next, 12 to 18 months, because what it's done in the last 3 is excitingly, invigoratingly bullish. You have no other energy but to be bullish about an asset like this. And if you look at the public sentiment about it, it's unparalleled in the utility sector of cryptocurrency, especially on the Ethereum chain. And we'll get more into why I think the Ethereum chain is really the only chain in crypto, but you're always going to have people who are maxis, and you should always disregard them if it doesn't speak to you. Once again, this is just my opinion. This is just what I think. I've seen people become very successful from investing in GPU, and I myself have done well investing in GPU, but I would never advise anybody to put their life savings into these types of assets. These are things that you should give long runways to and have targets of when you pull capital up or down. Investing in cryptocurrency is a wild ride, but you need to give yourself guardrails and limits of how you execute. But back to GPU, there's no shortage of demand for GPUs moving forward. Node AI is a first mover in this Depin AI space, and I think that it's incredibly bullish to look at what your holder cap to market cap ratio is, and then when you do that quantitative analysis, it makes you go, okay, yeah, there's a long runway here and we can make some money. But once again, this is just my opinion. This is not financial advice. This is just my opinion. Do with it what you will. But definitely, if you're interested in the utility plays on the Ethereum network, I'm incredibly bullish on GPU Node AI, and I think that it definitely requires some serious consideration if you have investment capital. I'm James Duryea, the Crypto Kid. This is not financial advice.